I've discovered something incredible about London market session that has made trading very predictable, and I started focusing my entire strategy around. In fact, just this morning, I made $4,000 with this exact discovery. I shared this exact discovery with Mickey, who managed to, in 2 months, get funded over $1 million and make over $45,000 in profit. In today's video, I'll be sharing this same predictable pattern that happens almost every single morning, and I'll show you how I traded it live this morning for a $4,000 profit.
So we're going to be going over the range breakout strategy that we use step by step to find this trade on German 30 this morning, and we took it with our team all on stream. So let's go over the 4-step process to learning exactly how to trade the range breakout strategy. So the first step is to identify 4-hour key zones. So how we do this is actually pretty step by step, and there is a specific method that I employ to do this. So what I do is for example, go from right to left, and I use this tool just so that you can see what I mean. I'm going to go from right to left and identify points at which the market has reacted from quite aggressively. So if the market pushes in and reacts like so, that would be a potential area that I would be looking to mark out as a 4-hour support and resistance zone. Okay, and then what we do is we pull price to the left and have a look and see if we've got any other reactions that can confirm that as a good zone. So I'm going to start from right to left. We're going to move across. There's a few little reactions in here, but nothing really aggressive. And then we get to here. Now price has done what? Pushed quite aggressively and pushed out of that area. And so I'm pretty sure we could say that this here is a nice little area, okay, to look at, where price has pushed aggressively in and pushed away from. Now we're currently here in price, and so we want to find an upper zone as well. So we're going to continue to the left, and what do we have here? Well, we have the market pushing pretty aggressively there and pushing downwards. Okay, so the downwards push started over here. Okay, so you could say that this here is your zone. You could also say that this here, where the market pushed up to and started pushing down from, is also your zone. So it doesn't matter which of those you choose, that's up to you. Again, these zones are kind of loosey-goosey. They're a framework for you to trade your 5-minute entries within, but it's still important to be aware of them so that you can get the highest probability entries and that you're not trading into a brick wall when you enter your lower time frame trades. So what I do is we're going to start from this zone down here, and I'm going to draw my zone from the wick to the body. Okay, that's what I like to do, from wick to body, and then I'm going to pull this to the left, and what you'll see immediately is that price just wicked past this and reacted. And if we continue even more to the left, price is touching in and around this zone multiple times. Here it gets very close as well, and here as well it starts to react. If we go even further to the left, we can see that price tapped into this here and reacted multiple times, and if you look on lower time frames, you'll see it even more clearly. So we've got touches here, 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 and here, and I want to see at least 3 touches and reactions. There's also ones here as well, and so I can now confirm this as a very significant zone on the 4-hour. Now let's look at our other reversal area, and what I like to do is, again, from body to wicks, but I'm also going to include this wick because it's to the left and it's close by. Okay, we always want to go from wicks to bodies, and so I'm going to move this to the left, and as we can see, once again, we've had price touch once and react. If we go even more to the left, we can see that it got very close here and reacted. We had price tapping close to here and reacting once again. Again, as long as it's quite close, we're good. We don't need to be specifically very specific with this. it is just a framework. We've had price again reacting in this zone, again reacting in this zone, reacting in the zone, reacting in the zone. And so for me, that will then confirm this as a significant 4-hour zone. And that's how I mark up my 4-hour range, my 4-hour structure. So let's move on to the next step, and that's identifying the 5-minute range, which we do in a very similar fashion. Okay, so if we zoom out real quickly, let's grab our line tool, and we're going to go from right to left. So as we can see, we had a slight reaction here. Let's move a bit to the left. We had price push quite aggressively and push out. Again, there's that V shape that we're looking for right here. And so I'm going to use this as the lower part of my range. Okay, and remember, we are currently here. So we want a part above it and a part below. So we want it to look something like this. Okay, so this over here will be our low of the range. I'm going to mark it on like so. Okay, from the wicks to the bodies, we like to get the average of the bodies. And if we also pull across, we can see price is reacting in and around here. Okay, so we're going to pull this across, and that is the bottom of my range. If we continue to the left, we can see that there was a slight reaction here, but again, it's within a larger range. So we're going to stay clear of that. We move to the left, and again, this is a very, very strong reaction. And so we're more than likely going to use this as our zone up here. All right, so I'm going to mark it from the wicks. I like to include some of the bodies, perhaps even down here. I'm going to keep it to this part over here. Okay, so that is what we're looking at for this particular trade. We've got the upper range of the body and the lower range of the body of the range. Okay, so what we're now going to do is look at step 3, which is observing the 50 SMA and waiting for price to break and close outside of our range. So what we look for on the 50 SMA is pretty simple. We're looking for the 50 SMA to be moving towards the upside. So as we can see here, it is moving towards the upside. It is pulling back a little bit, but we're starting to curve upwards. So that is quite nice. And we only take buys above the 50 SMA. So as price is currently above the 50 SMA, we will only be looking for buys. We can only look to sell below this if we are below the 50 SMA. Okay, so that is the rule on that. And now we're waiting for a break and closure. So let's see which way price breaks and closes. Price, of course, not yet broken and closed. Not yet, not yet. It reacts to the zone once again. Price then breaks out over here. Okay. And now we are waiting for the retest. So price broke out, and we are now, we now have a valid trade. Okay. So we're now looking for the to enter on the retest. And price must hesitate around that zone. We enter with a market execution, not a limit execution. Okay, that's quite important. We use a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, and we go break even at 1-to-1 risk reward. Okay, and that's the final piece of this. So price then retests right here and rejects it. So we got in on the retest as it started to reject, and we are now in this trade. Okay. So we come back down for a little bit, go into some drawdown, come back up, and we're now going to go break even once we get to 1-to-1. So over here, we're going to go break even at 1-to-1. So 1-to-1 would have been here. I just used this tool to measure that out, which would mean that our stop loss gets moved to our entry, which means that our position is completely protected. We're either going to walk away with nothing, not a loss, or we're going to get profit. And in this case, we then took profit on this particular trade, and I managed to pull roughly $4,000 on that particular trade this morning. And that is how we trade the range breakout strategy from A to Z.
So if you want to join a community of like-minded people for free, where we give our daily analysis every single day and live stream with over 17,000 people, click the link in the description down below, and I'll see you in Crown Club.